I'm not a big believer in the anecdotal evidence story. I mean, it's like some plane crashes. The survivors get to tell the tale, but any 100 other people who died don't. It's great to have these sort of I survived cancer stories, but you don't get the true picture from the people who didn't survive cancer, because they're not around to give a testimony, of course. So I do look for some kind of scientific data presentation, but that's difficult with alternative medicines, alternative therapies, because they're not geared to do that. They haven't got the money to do trials like pharmaceutical companies have. So in terms of getting data per se, it is quite difficult. And then sometimes you're left with having nothing other than just a testimony to base your ideas and opinions on. And to that extent, that's when I become a little bit dubious. But nearly everything that I've done in terms of treatment has been based on, to some extent, looking at statistics and data and seeing about whether there's an improvement, an incremental improvement in the population over time. I mean, it's a game of numbers, isn't it? But then life is as well, in that sense. If life's a normal curve, if you're on the far right of it, you're doing well, and you can that might only put you in the top 3 or 5% survival rate, but why not? If I was in the middle of the normal bell curve, I should be dead by now anyway, based on my prognosis. I think they gave me between 14 and 17 months life expectancy, more or less, and that was with chemo. So it's coming up to it's nearly a year since I was diagnosed with secondary cancer, stage 4 cancer, and given that they missed it by probably 6 to 18 months, really, I'm well beyond that as well. So, it's a game of numbers.